So I want to welcome you to the 2010 version of the Thank God for Humor sermon. Thank you. As Michael just read, the book of Ecclesiastes says there's a time to mourn and a time to laugh. And so tonight is our turn to laugh, I hope. So what's happened since last Thanksgiving? Let me see. I got married. Come on, family, you can stand up. Come on. We had our blended family Christmas picture taken on a staircase last year, and it looked so much like the Brady Bunch, we thought we'd take it one step closer. So I want to introduce you to the new blended Nelson Bunch family. There's me, of course. There's Liz, of course. Here's my son, Thomas. There's my daughter, Christina, my other daughter, Mary. And here is Liz's daughter, Kristen. And there is Katie. And there is Michael. And, of course, Liz is down there, and I'm here. And then little Lizzie's right in the middle. So that's our blended family. That's what's happening in the Brady Bunch family this year. When we were down in Mexico, we had our wedding down there on November 14th. I found another shirt. It said, "Who are all these children and why are they all calling me Dad?" But I could have bought that one, but we decided to go with this one instead. But it's great to be a part of a big family, and I'm going to throw in one more commercial message, and that is this Friday night over at St. Pete's O'Reilly Hall. Liz and I are having our wedding dance, and if you like to dance, if you like adult and youth beverages, if you like ice cream, if you like Mexican food, be there. We're there from 7 to 11:30. There's no program, there's no reception, there's only dancing and fun, and we hope you and all your family and friends can come and join us. As a wedding gift, I gave Liz a pair of steel-toed dancing shoes. They're the only dancing shoes or high heels you can wear to a construction site, so they'll come in handy. But my recent experience made me think about some wedding stories that I'd heard before. For example, a young couple went to see the priest before they had their ceremony, and the priest gave them a premarital questionnaire. When it came to the question, "Are you entering this marriage on your own free will?" there was a long pause. Finally, the bride said, "Put down yes." Ole told Sven he was going to get married. Sven says, "Have you picked a date yet?" Well, Ole said, "Wow, I didn't know I could bring a date to my wedding." After the wedding, someone took Ole's credit card, but he didn't report it. And he asked him, "Why didn't you report it to the police?" And he said, "Because the thief is spending less money than my wife." Meanwhile, Lena was out for lunch with her friends. Lena, one of her girlfriends, remarked, "You're wearing your wedding ring on the wrong finger." "I know," she replied. "I married the wrong man." Meanwhile, there's a story about a pastor who went to a nursing home, and he was going to do the wedding for this 90-year-old couple. And he was talking to the groom, and he says, "Do you love her?" And he said, "No." He said, "Is she rich?" "No." He said, "Well, is she a good Christian woman then?" He says, "No, I don't think so." He said, "Why are you getting married then?" He said, "Because she can drive at night." Speaking of blended families, one of the people we were reading about in the E100 series this year was the patriarch Jacob, and he was talking about he had at least 12 sons and daughters, and he had all these different wives and different mothers and all that. And I'm thinking to myself, imagine seating that family at a wedding. Who are you going to sit with? Who are you not? Okay. So anyway, along with the E100 series, we're keeping up our small groups, and the small groups have been meeting for Bible study and for support and fellowship and fun. And they're doing other kinds of things, like we've done some service projects and stuff, and they've even been able to go on some trips. And I'm thinking, only in St. Mark's could a brewery tour be considered a church function. So anyway, we have put it out long enough. Of course, we have to get some of our mandatory football jokes in, don't we? We do this every year. I'm sorry to disappoint you, though. The football joke was last Sunday. Did you hear that Brett Favre's wife, Deanna, sent a news release that said, the text message Brett sent to that reporter, that was meant for me, but you know Brett, it got intercepted. I understand the Minnesota Vikings was calling our game last Sunday a circus, which is kind of interesting because a circus has 3 more rings than the Vikings do. Okay, so enough for football. You know, it's hard to figure this year who had a worse year, the Vikings or the Democrats. We've got to throw in a little political humor here. It's gotten tough, though, on all politicians. In fact, it's been so cold lately that all the politicians are keeping their hands in their own pockets. And now we have Sarah Palin in the news. Isn't she a sweetie? How many of you think the Tea Party should take a coffee break? Anyway, I hear on she has a Fox show, and the other day she was on the rifle range, and I'm thinking, if we elect her president, we won't need a Secret Service. She'll be packing her own heat. You know, save a big chunk of big government right there. Anyway, so now they have a bumper sticker that works for both parties. It says, "Run, Sarah, run." Republicans put it on the rear bumper, and the Democrats on the front.